It is a live program right now, Nigeria 101.1 FM. We are live in the studio in the United Kingdom. My name is Cheng Tokumbo. I just want to say happy bank holiday, Easter week holiday to every one of you that are on my platform. It is nice to unite with you guys today again on the issue of how to regularize your status. But first and foremost, I want to congratulate all those that participated in the program of Ewayide Yoruba last evening. It was fun. To be honest with you, I did not know that we had spent 3 hours yesterday on the platform. That shows how fantastic our language, our tradition, it is, and how rich our culture is in our society anywhere we are in the world. I embraced it yesterday with all of you, and I want to say well done. We'll meet again this week by God's grace. If we have the time again on Friday, we will unite as usual. Ewayide Yoruba, that is the language for it, and we'll continue to embrace it. But this afternoon, closely, I want to be looking into the issue of those of the children that can become a UK citizen, either born in the UK or born outside United Kingdom. I want to look into it closely. So I want to welcome all of you on board this afternoon. My name is Tokumbo Lagbaye. I'm on 07908 628 240. I'm on 07908 628 240. It is how to regularize your status we are looking into. Closely, there are several ways of acquiring citizenship status for children. But I want you to look into the system carefully and understand how it works. Thank you, Mrs. Elijah Fausat Sonny. Thank you, ma'am. You know, I want us to understand how it works, because over the past few months, I've been receiving a lot of questions from clients, from fans, from friends, from everybody out there. They want to know whether the child that they brought into the United Kingdom at the age of a month or 2 months old can acquire a UK citizenship at the end of his or her 10th birthday. Believe it or not, it is impossible unless one of the parents is settled in the United Kingdom at the time of that child's birth or after when the child was born. But there are several ways of piecing this thing so that you can understand it carefully. I want to take you chronologically into the system. Thank you, Yinka Makoso. I recognize you. You know, I want to take you into the system chronologically so that you will know how it works in the United Kingdom. This is not everyone that comes to UK can have a UK citizenship, and it's not every children that brought into the United Kingdom can acquire it. So we have to look into the methods and ways of acquiring citizenship. We looked into some of it last week, but it wasn't in depth because of the time factor. But I've been prompted to go back onto the same topic again because we're still having issues. People are still having problems with it. So they want me to reiterate and go back and then go in depth to discuss it better. Now, let me make you understand one thing. A child that is born outside the United Kingdom to a father that that has indefinite leave to remain, that child cannot have UK status immediately. But a child that is born in the United Kingdom, born to a father that has indefinite leave to remain, can acquire a UK status immediately. Now again, let us look into the year of birth of those children. You see, a lot of people don't know the importance of the introduction of the 1st of July 2006 Act. That year was an important one, and it will remain important in the eyes of the law in the United Kingdom. So I want you to take that into account when it comes to regularization, registration of a child in the United Kingdom, either in the United Kingdom or outside the United Kingdom. It is so important that we clarify it. Now, a child that is born before 2006 to a father that has British passport but not married to the mother of that child will not acquire British passport registration, citizenship registration immediately. There are some hurdles that you will have to climb as a parent for that child to succeed in the registration to become a citizen of the United Kingdom. I'm on 07908 628 240. If you want to have more information, contact me in the office on Tuesday on 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. Let me reiterate again because it's a bit complex. Let me reiterate again. A child that is born before 2006 Act to the father that has British passport but not married to the mother of that child will not acquire citizenship straight away, automatically. So it's not an automatic acquisition. Automatic acquisition only goes to those that were within the system at the time of the birth. Now the father may have British passport when the child was born. But if the child was born before 2006, it basically means that the child will not be able to have that opportunity of registration immediately. It would not be able to register as a citizen of the United Kingdom. The reason being is that the child was born before 2006 Act. I'm going to tell you what 2006 Act is saying. The child was born before 2006 Act. 1. The second order is that the father did not marry to the mother of that child at the birth of the child. Government intentionally introduced it. I love it. So it basically means that at the end of the day, what is going to happen is that they have to go through normal registration. It will not be automatic application for a British passport. It has to be through registration. It's not automatic. So they have to go through the big money to do the registration for that child in order to become a UK citizen. Lately, it applies to one of the close pals of one of my farms. Close pals. And when I say they are close, I mean they are close because the person involved has got British passport way since probably 1989 or 1990, if I want to be correct. But the child in question was born in 2005. The child in question, thank you, Ghost Time, thank you. The child in question was born in 2005, and the changes in the law in that aspect came into being 2006. So those two children that were affected in that family, one was born in 2005, the other one was born in 2006, but it was born before 1st of July. So of course, both of them were affected. And the father didn't marry to the mother of those children at the time of the birth of those children. So when the application wanted to go through for passport application for British passport, the passport office refused to grant it and returned the father back to the registration system, because the reason being is that he was unable to provide a marriage certificate. Because he was unable to provide marriage certificate, he wasn't able to register those children. So you need to put that in mind. So you need to put that at the back of your mind. We need to understand how the system works. We really need to understand how the system works. I'm on 07908. Thank you. 628-240. I'm on 07908 628-240. If you have any problem bothering your mind, this is an arena for you to ask me questions. This is an arena for you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, dear. Happy Easter, dear.
And if the child was born in the UK and our parents got 2.5 years, and the child will be turning on the 24th of February, and the paper will expire on the 4th of February, what can you do?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Assist me very well. You're not giving me enough assistance. You are saying that their parents are on 2.5 years with the child.
Yes.
Okay? Tell me more information. The child is going to be 10 years when?
On the 4th of February.
On the 1st of February.
Yes.
And when is the renewal due?
The renewal due on the 22nd of February.
Easy peace, easy peace, easy peace. It is not the other way around. Even if it's the other way around, there is a way to go about it. It's not the other way around. You see, government of this country of mine, United Kingdom, it's so understanding. You might be saying that the stringent rules and the introduction into immigration is killing you. Yes, but every time they pass law, there is always a loophole. Even in tax law, even in employment, even in family, in crime, in everything, there is always a loophole. Government is good. Government is smart. Government is clever. What the parents of that child will do is that they will start the registration immediate effect, a day after 10th birthday. Are you with me?
I'm with you, ma. You know, the 2.5 years will end before the child will be 10 years.
No, you said the 2.5 years will end on the 24th.
On the 20, no, the child is the 2.5 will end on the 24th, and the child is 26, sorry. 26
Did you see that? Did you see yourself? You gave me wrong information at the beginning.
Sorry, ma. Sorry.
Anyway, it basically means, if I get this right here, it means that the biometric card will expire before the 10th birthday.
Before the day, yes.
Still, it's not worst. It's not a worst scenario. I would prefer them to go in and advise Secretary of State that the child is now 10 years and they are going through registration. And they will advise Secretary of State. So there has to be 2 birth certificates in the journey. No matter what, they should go and check the other long one immediately. So one long one will go with the application for renewal.
Okay.
And then the other long one will go in for the registration of it to become a citizen of the United Kingdom. Okay. There will be a letter from the school. Photocopy it and certify it by a qualified solicitor of my standard.
Okay.
And put it in there and put the copy to the one that is going through registration, going through the renewal. Okay. The original one, let it go through with the registration of that child's citizenship. And advise Secretary of State in the representation that the child is going through registration because of her 10th birthday or his 10th birthday, and that you will advise Secretary of State for further information on further documents.
Thank you so much, ma.
There is no problem.
Thank you.
Bye. It's basically easy and straightforward. It is easy and it's straightforward. We are live right now in the United Kingdom, Nigeria 101.1 FM. Emejo Kinjasha, Tukumbo Olabaye is my name. You see, I am actually enjoying what I am doing. I was at a church last week, Sunday, at a Redeem in Peckham High Street. I was shocked and stunned to see my posters everywhere on the High Street of Peckham, where it placed my name, my everything there to show that I'll be coming to deliver a seminar in that church. I was impressed. So I want to use this medium to say thank you to the pastor, Mr. and Pastor Mrs. Yombo, at the Redemption, Ijo Irapada, King Yombo, Ijo Irapada, Redemption, RCCG Peckham High Street, number 37 to 39. If you are looking for a place to worship, I think I can be very proud to say, why don't you check on them at Peckham High Street, number 37 to 39. I was impressed by the elders, by the pastor, Mr. and Mrs., by everybody, by the congregation. Half of the congregations were mine. As soon as I arrived, they've been telling each other, she's here now, she's here. Half of them were mine, you know. So I want to say thank you to all of you for having me in your church last week. I really do enjoy myself. I was filled with the Holy Spirit, to be honest. I really, really enjoy myself. And it's one of the reasons why I said on my program yesterday that I don't want to be part of those who will condemn pastors, prophets, and prophetess, who would condemn imam or head of the Muslim mosque I'm not part of that. Or who will condemn the old tradition oracle of what they used to do before the Christianity came into being, or condemning the government of any country. No, I am not part of those. My job as a lawyer is to focus, because my clients come from any part of the world, any tribe, any nationality, any race, gender, sexuality. I don't care. I take on cases that fit my standard, and I defend it rigorously. So I have no problem with anybody's sexuality, religion, race, color, political opinion. I don't have any problem at all. I have problem with those who step on the toes of the government because they fail to focus on why they were there. Now, what I was saying to you is that the lawyer that preached the pastor that preached, the visiting pastor that preached last week, made me realize that you must know the purpose of your birth, the purpose of being born on this planet. You must enjoy what you are doing. If you don't enjoy what you are doing, you need to change job immediately before it's too late. This I'm doing, I love it. Either in court, in writing, in the media, in the social arena, anywhere. I just love this that I'm doing, to be honest with you. So I am here right now. I want to answer your query. I want to put, that peace of mind that you are looking, I want to put it into your heart, into your mind. I want you to understand that the law that changes in 2006 changed for some reasons. Let me tell you, in 2006, when the act was introduced, it's introduced to favor men. It was introduced to favor men, especially those who are rich and wealthy, that has many wives, many women, and has children all over. The British government want them to bring those children back into the United Kingdom, or the British government want those children born in the UK to be registered and become UK citizens, so that when their father is giving them wealth, that wealth will be under UK citizenship. So it will be for us, so that we can tax him or her and we can benefit from it. That is the purpose of introduction of that. It was introduced for men, and men in Parliament concur. It was introduced for them. So let's get that right. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello there.
Hello, hi. I'm speaking to you. Good afternoon. Are you all right?
Yes.
Should I call you back?
I'm on live program right now.
Oh, because she said to call you at 2.
I'm on a live program now, so please cut off and call me back later.
Okay, I will do.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I have a number. I'll call you back myself. I have your number. It's saved on this system, so don't worry. I think there is an emergency in that area because of the voice, but I will call her back myself. I'm on 07908 628 So we're looking into children that can acquire citizenship. Now, hear me again. If at the birth of that child outside the United Kingdom, for example, typical in Nigeria, the father of that child holds British passport. So I want you to understand the difference between the two passports now. The indefinite leave to remain and the British passport. The British passport carries the overall weight, regardless of your thinking. If the child was born outside the United Kingdom, typical in Nigeria, and at the time of the birth of that child, his or her father holds British passport, and the child was born outside 2000 and along 2006 downward, that child will be registered immediately. Will be put in on for British passport immediately. Listen, the child is born outside UK, whether married to mother or not married to mother, we don't care about that. As long as the father holds British passport at the time of the birth, and it was born after 2006 July, that child is ours with the British passport. That child is ours. If the father of that child only has permanent residence or indefinite leave to remain, which they are more or less the same thing to me, but because one comes under European regulations and the other one comes under British passport, it means that the child cannot acquire citizenship automatically. The child will have to be registered. So if born outside UK, they have to bring the child into the United Kingdom first under indefinite leave to enter. And the child must be in the UK for 3 years before the child can be registered, can acquire British passport, can be a UK citizen. So we've got to understand it very, very well. We really need to understand the difference. You see, to all those that were born after 2006 July, to parents that none of the parents has a settled status and they were born in the UK. Like I said last week, the law requires that parent to put the child, leave the child in the UK continuously for 10 years. Leave the child in the United Kingdom continuously for 10 years. If you don't leave that child in the UK continuously for 10 years, you take the child out, and at the time you are, thank you, Yinka, and at the time you are taking that child out, the child hasn't got any status. You probably say because there is an opportunity of a job prospect in Nigeria, you took the child out for a year or two, and unfortunately the job prospect opportunity wasn't going as it was planned, so you decided to return to United Kingdom. You then took another visa to come to UK. Believe me, you have caused problem into that child's journey. The 2 years is evident enough because you took that child out. When you are bringing that child in, you have collected visa to bring the child back into the United Kingdom. And when the child was leaving, you said that you used travel document. So the child has lost that opportunity. So you need to bear that in mind. It's a simple and typical scenario that mostly common among people in the diaspora. It's common among a lot of people. It is not Nigerian alone. A lot of people will be saying it's Nigeria, Nigeria. It's not about Nigeria. There are Gambia family that called me 2 weeks ago. The Gambia family that called me, they were in Gambia. So they basically wanted to know if that child will still have the opportunity to be a UK citizen. Of course not. The child has spent almost 4 or 5 years in Gambia. But things were not going as it was planned again. So they want to bring the child back into the United Kingdom. And they are expecting to register that child to have British passport. They were so ready. They were so ready and full of confidence that the child will be it still has the opportunity to register. But I'm afraid so. There wasn't that opportunity there anymore. The opportunity that's lost the day they took that child out of the country. You see, the children that has limited leave to remain, of course they can go on holiday, but they have to return back before the limited leave to remain expire. So basically, their maximum of going out cannot be more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And you have to return them back under the same visa that they used to go out of the country. And it's only leave to remain can do that. A visitor visa will jeopardize the chance. So it has to be a limited leave to remain. So we got to get it right. I'm on 07908. I'm on 07908 628 240. I'm talking about how to regularize your status. If the child has left for 9 months, my dear, don't worry yourself with that friend, because the child has lost it. So if the mother of the child is arguing with you, don't worry yourself. Let the person put the money through to the government. He's going to lose the money. She will lose that money. Government will never return the money back. Never. It will never happen, because you're supposed to take legal advice. That is the whole idea of having lawyer qualified in this kind of situation. You must take legal advice. Ishola Adeomo Morafa said, how do I get a UK visa without having like 1.5 million naira in my account? The law on visit visa does not say you have to have 1.5 million in your account. It's basically saying that you must have a strong ties with Nigeria for you to come on holiday into the United Kingdom. And what is strong ties? Strong ties means your employment. You must have a good job in Nigeria. You must have a family unit in Nigeria. So that shows your community ties. And if you have landed properties, you have strong ties in Nigeria and again. You understand? But it doesn't specifically say that you must have 1.5 million. There is nowhere it is written. It's not saying you must have 1.5 million. So don't let us get it mixed up. I'm on 07908 628 I am breaking it into pieces on the children, the type of children, the children that can acquire British passport. And on the same question, on the same line of discussion again, a lot of parents ask questions that can the siblings obtain British passport or registration under the siblings that had British passport or that was registered? It's impossible. The right is not the same. The right is just a single right. It's an individual right. So if a 10-year-old child applies and gets it because he has stayed in the UK continuously for 10 years, for his or her siblings to benefit, there has to be one parent there to make application for a leave to remain under the British child. You know, Rhode Island from the United States of America. How are you? How are you? United States, how are you? Can you hear me? It is Lawyer Tokumbo. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm listening to your this what's it called your program right now. I have a question. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yes. It's kind of breaking up.
No, I'm fine here. So can you hear me properly? Can you hear me?
All right. Yes. I have a question. I actually lived in the United Kingdom for like 10 years. My 2 children were born in the United Kingdom, but unfortunately, we left before my daughter was 9 years old. So, we already did the biometrics and everything, but we had to come because we had my mom filed for me to stay in America, so we had to like leave because I wanted to be in America. So my question is, has my daughter actually lost the right to become a citizen of the United Kingdom?
Yes. If you haven't got status at the birth of at the time your daughter was born,
Yeah.
that's
No,
gone.
no, I didn't have a status.
Yeah, so that's gone. That's gone. The opportunity is not there. You will have waited and get the 10 years out of the way and apply for your daughter before you leave. But if your daughter has an American passport now, I get so.
Yeah.
That should be okay, please.
They have green card. They have the green card now.
They will get they will get American passport in the end. So don't worry.
Yeah, they do. And I think that it's something that they can maybe want you to get come to the United Kingdom to claim like she was wanted. You have to get
Her case is not different from those who were taken back to Nigeria as well. It is the same system, is the same law that applicable to all of them. So even if it's in America, if it's in Canada, it doesn't matter. As long as the child's parents hasn't got status at the time the child was born, and the child has been taken, and the child was taken out of the country before the 10th birthday or before the registration, even if the child clocked 10 years and you took that child out of the country without registration, that child lost it. Even if the child clocked 10 years in the UK, without registration, that child will lost it. Yeah.
Thank you. You answered my question.
Thank you. Bye-bye, dear. I want to say thank you to the United States fans. United States fans have been so tremendous in this journey. Because most times when clients call me, they will say it's my family from the US that gave me your number. And they are in the UK, they don't know about me. But the US will say, go and meet her. So I want to say thank you to all of you in the United States, in Canada. I will not forget you in anything I do. I will always recommend and I will always say thank you in each time I come on board. Because America, they always mention your name when your people come to my office. Thank you. Please go ahead. Hello, dear. Hi. Good evening. Yes.
I'm just calling to make an inquiry of something. My mom is in UK. She's been here for a while now. She came when I had my baby, and she used to go and come back based on getting whatever we do there. But some years back, like 4 years ago, they stopped. They said it's not working again. So we were scared in case she goes back and then they don't renew her visa. So she's been here since then. So my palaver now, my worry now is, what can I do for her? Can I do a stay independent for her because she's elderly? She's going to be 68 in October. Then what can I do for her? Well, the passport is required and the visa. So that's my dilemma. Sorry.
Your mother is in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And she's been in the UK for how long?
Well, she's been going on and off till about 4 years ago. She's been in like 11 years now. But not out at all since 4 years ago.
And you want to apply for her under what heading? Adult relative.
Yes. I don't know. I just wanted to advise you what I can do for her. Independent or
as we speak now, she run out of visa.
She's run out of visa.
You shouldn't have let her.
Oh.
You shouldn't have let her. You should have let the poor woman return back and make an exceptional application from outside. Because unless she clocked 20 years in her own right in the UK, believe me, adult dependent application is hard. It is difficult, especially the fact that she came in as a visitor. She must have disclosed on the application back there that she has children here and there. So that kind of changes will not succeed internally.
Okay.
And it can be very frustrating for adult parents, you know, for parents, if you keep them in the country without status, for them to be able to go in and out of United Kingdom. It could be very frustrating.
So there is nothing we can do at the moment.
Unless if I want to lie, and I can't do that. I'm sorry I couldn't help you further, but that's the honest answer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Bye. There is a question here from Imole Anabi. Mommy, please, how can I apply for British passport for 10 years and 7 years children whose mother have leave to remain, ma? The 7 years cannot apply for British passport now. If he was born in the UK, he needs to wait for another 3 years. But the 10 years, regardless of the status of the mother, it doesn't matter. As long as the 10 years was born in the UK and has been in the UK continuously, the 10 years will be able to go into the application and make and apply without any problem. The 10 years will be able to, will be able to apply without any problem. So we should understand that. The 10 years will be able to apply without any problem. So I think that should be it. Yes, hello dear. Hi. Hi. Please go ahead. I will be responding to the public in English. It can be, unfortunately, but I'm afraid British passport is the last resort in that child's journey. So the child needs to apply for another 2.5 years. The child needs to go in for another 2.5 years. It depends on the status that the child came in with, and it depends on the status the child has before she applied to the Secretary of State for the first leave to remain. If there was no visa at the time she applied, the child would have to apply 2.5 years, 4 times, like any other adult. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, that's the Benny. 2.5 years every time. They will still give it. They will still give her because the law that she used at the time, at the sections of the application, is applicable, and it will carry on. So that's not a problem. Even if she's going with the mother, that's fine. They will not have problem. It shouldn't be a problem. Habitual resident test will apply in that situation. Habitual resident test is 3 years. So the child should be able to get loan. If not, the mother should be able to pay the school fees like us. Our children was born and bred in the United Kingdom. We pay normal school fees £10,000 every term. She should be able to get loan if they can demonstrate that the child has been in the UK more than 3 years and habitually lawful residence in those 3 years. So ìgbà wo náà fọmọ anywhere àkọ́kọ́ ìgbà wo ló gba first paper.
2010 ni wọ́n fún ní 5 years.
So kò tí ì pẹ́.
2010.
Tell the mother to go. Tell the mother to go and look at the letter sent from the Home Office. The letter will say whether it's a 5 years route or 10 years route. But in my mind, there's no doubt it's 10 years route.
So 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, 5 years.
But it was cancelled. They were cancelled under that and moved. They've been moved onto the under immigration, so it will not come under. So that's it. Can I move on, madam? Can I move on? Can I move on because of the rest of people that want to? Let me move on. Yes, thank you. You can call me in the office if you have issues on 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. Call me in the office, book appointment on Tuesday to come and see me. There is bank holiday on Monday, just like yesterday. Monday is Easter Monday. I want to go and meet Jesus Christ at the Galilee. So you will not find me in the office on Monday. I'm going to answer question online. So those who are calling, hold on. Ogunyemi Titus Abimbola. My wife was born in the UK in 1988. She was brought back to Nigeria at about 7 years old. She visited the United Kingdom 3 years ago on a student visa. Any chance of her getting the UK passport? No. She was born after the changes in the law. Born 1988 and she was taken back to Nigeria. You see, when she was born in 1988, Mrs. Tasha law has commenced at that time. So she should have waited and stayed in England for 5 years instead of 10 years they're doing now. 5 years would have taken her on a British passport and she would have just traveled anywhere in the world. You see, parents that out there now, please make sure you check the law before you leave UK. Make sure you check law, check the rules, know what is happening on the type of visa or status you are holding before you return back to your country of origin, so that the children will not be missing out. I think it's important. But Ogunyemi Titus Abimbola, there is nothing your wife can do, because she has been taken out of the United Kingdom. She was born after the changes in the law. She has been taken out of the country for more than 5 years from the time of birth, so it's not there anymore. So that is the situation. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Ekason. Yes. Báwo lẹ ṣe máa pẹ́ qualify? Okay. Okay.
So wọ́n fẹ́ pé ìyàwó lé pẹ́sàn kan tó fẹ́ pè ní pé wọ́n ní penalty of 30%. Wọ́n fún mi ní 3 points. Ó dẹ̀ máa expire ní August this year. Mo fẹ́ pé ìyàwó lé ní wọ́n tì í. Àwọn èèyàn sọ fún mi pé kò ní disclose.
Every petty offense must be disclosed, either big or small. Everything must be stated out on your application. If you miss one out, it will cost you 10 years of wait.
Okay, what's the chance of
kò lè affect yín ìgbà wo offense yẹn, and how serious is it? If you don't disclose it, it will affect you more.
But I'm not 3 years in August this
Kí ni offence, kí ni punishment tán fún yín? Kí ni offence, kí ni punishment ẹ gbà?
Nítorí pé mo kó ọmọ mẹ́rin sí ẹ̀yìn tán.
Ǹtán. Kí ló tán?
Nígbà tí wọ́n máa fún mi ní penalty ní CU20 lọ fún mi.
Kí lẹ náà fún yín?
CU20.
Kí ni ìtumọ̀ yẹn?
CU20 yẹn ní ìgbéyà mo drive car bóyá mo wà sọ́ọ̀tì.
Ẹ lọ wo kí ẹ lọ wo kíní ẹ̀ ó ti lọ ó ti máa wà taken off because it wasn't even a sentence in the first instance after certain. And then make up. If I were you, I would wait till next year and let it be removed before I make my application. If not, you are going to be losing your money. And possibly they get upset, but don't let anybody tell you that you should not disclose. Everything must be disclosed. Even next year, you have to disclose it. Because they intentionally ask that question. Every time they ask those kind of questions, you must say yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. There is no any chance for you to play ignorance in any law, in law. Yeah. It's down to the Secretary of State to decide. But if you have cleared after 3 years, you'll be okay. I don't think it will affect, but you must disclose and you must wait and let it be clear up on your record, because as soon as they tap into the system, if it has not been removed, it will affect you. Yes. Okay, thank you. If a child was born, Ade Omade said, if a child was born in the United States with parents with United Kingdom indefinite leave to remain, is the child entitled to British citizen or indefinite leave to remain? The parents reside in the United Kingdom. The child was born in the US, but where is the child now? If the child has been brought back into the United Kingdom and the child was born, following what I've said earlier on, the child was born outside 2006, the child will be registered, will have immediate entitlement to citizenship. Because the child is now in the UK. If he has been brought back into the United Kingdom, you have to look at that area. It's a different scenario again. That question you ask is different from the one that's born in Nigeria and stays in Nigeria. If the child was born in the US and stay in the US with a parent, with one of the parents, and the one that has indefinite leave to remain came in, will not be able to have the acquisition of citizenship for that child. But in this scenario, if you expatiate more, I'll be able to assist you. So you need to assist me. But the way I understood it is, if the child was born in the US and the child has been brought back into the United Kingdom, and the child has been living in the UK, for years with the parents that has indefinite leave to remain, of course the child will be entitled. But if I were the parent, I'm going to register and naturalize and have my British passport before I then register and then apply passport for that child, if provided the child was born outside 2006 Act. So that is the scenario. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I just want to quickly ask a few questions. And I've got a dependent for 5 years, and I'm going to renew this December. And I have a son, and his son is going to complete in June. He's going to complete 10 years. So, first of all, I've got 5 years. Last year I applied, and they told me that it only is too early, that I should apply in December. So what do I do? Should I apply for the EEC or my child 10 years in the United Kingdom?
Try to see if you can get consultation in my office. You are having two questions in one question.
Yes.
And it's it.
But
Get appointment to see me, young man.
okay. Am I going to pay for the consultation?
So you don't want to pay consultation to see a professional person?
So I'm just asking how much is it?
It's £50.
Okay. What is in what check?
I am not a legal aid lawyer, so let the public understand my situation. I'm a private lawyer. When you want to come and see me, there is a fee that is payable. because I paid my bills. I paid office. I paid everywhere I go. So it's not free. But if you want to get an outstanding advice on its highest, you got to come to the office. You cannot put 3 questions or 2 questions in one scenario and think that I will grab it. I will not be able to remember everything. And I don't want to mislead the public because a lot of people are listening out there. They want to see how I will respond. And I cannot afford to make mistakes. So that's the basic point. Mom, please, Imali Anabi, I think we've answered this. Jasmine is, how do you apply for children who were brought in from Nigeria and parents are not UK citizens? If the kids are brought into the UK, they have to apply for leave to remain when they have spent 7 years in the United Kingdom, if they are still underage. If they have now gone over the age of 17 and now 18, then they have to remain in the UK and spend half of their life in the UK, half of their age in the UK, for them to make application in their own right or their private life. Jasmine Hughes, that is the response to your question. Jasmine Hughes, that is the response to your question.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. Hello. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
I
afternoon.
just want to know, I couldn't ask the question the last time we were on here. We have just, we are going on our 5 years. Is leave to remain. We spent 2.5 years. We've taken the second 2.5 years. And it's going to be 2.5 years will be due by December. Can we apply for indefinite leave to remain?
Say it again.
We have spent 2.5. We are on the second leg of the 2.5, which will expire in December. Can we apply for indefinite leave to remain rather than applying for another 2.5 years?
You need to know exactly what route you are using. If you have leave to remain at the time you first applied, and they gave you 2.5 years, maybe you were a student, then you are coming under 5 years route. So you'll be applying for indefinite leave to remain. But if you haven't got any leave at the time you were granted, and you were only granted first and second term, it means you have another 2 terms to go.
Okay. No, I didn't have any leave to remain. I was an overstayer.
So that is the situation. That's what will happen. I'm afraid I have to go now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for listening to me on this beautiful program of ours, how to regularize your status. But unfortunately, time is of essence because of the Easter bank holiday period out there, the traffic jam, and the next program to come on board. I may have to leave now. Time is of essence. I want to say thank you to all of you. I want to say I cherish you. I love you. All my family on this platform, family. Thank you so much on this platform. But I'm afraid so I've got to go now. I've got to go because I work on time and I have to leave now. I am so sorry that I could not take more calls, but I'll be back on Tuesday to take your calls if God's willing. But for bank holiday, I am not taking calls on Sunday, neither will I take on a Easter Monday because I want to observe my religion. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for your love and kind. Your prayer every time is working on this platform for me, in my business, in my career and family life. Thank you so much. I recognize all of you. Blessed weekend. Continue to enjoy yourself. Bless you all. Thank you. Bye.